Hey guys, quick animation tutorial today. I'm going to be showing you something I did quite a while ago. We're going to be covering this like blobby stylized flame look that I did here. Let's jump straight into this. So first of all, we want to increase our frames on our scene to start off with. So at the bottom here where it says 90 frames, I'm going to increase this to 250 frames. So we have something to play with. Okay, so Shift C, this is our search bar. I'm going to type in emitter. Now if I play this, our emitter is going to be shooting particles out. But these particles are going to be sideways, so let's go ahead and grab our emitter and rotate this 90 degrees so it's facing upwards. Cool, our emitter is now shooting up. We need to tell this emitter what we want to emit. So we want to emit spheres. So let's go ahead and grab two spheres. I'm going to make one sphere 20 centimeters and our second sphere 15. Now dragging both these spheres into our emitter, if we play this, you'll see it still doesn't do anything, and that's because we have to come into our emitter and tell it to show objects. So now we have an emitter that's pumping out all these spheres, but you'll notice they don't change in size and they go basically forever. So let's have a look at our animation again. This animation is both reducing the size as they go upwards and cutting them off and making them disappear towards the top of our animation. So to do this, we just need to change the settings in our emitter. So birth rate is the amount of spheres that we're pumping out. I'm going to up this to 12. Our start and end emission is basically how long this animation runs for. So we're starting at 0 frames and we want to end it at the end of our scene, so 250 frames for this. The lifetime is basically how long these spheres last for. So at the moment they just go on forever because they're ending at 600 frames, but we don't even have 600 frames in our scene. So I'm going to change this to 100. So now you'll see, if I play this, these are going to start disappearing about 100 frames. So about here, yep, they're going to start disappearing. But we want some variation on this. We don't want them all to disappear at the same height. So we want some a bit lower and some a bit higher. So the variation percentage here, I'm going to up this to 30%. Cool. Speed is basically how quickly they reach a desired height. I'm going to leave this as it is for the moment, but you can change this if you want to make your movement on your spheres slower or quicker. Anyway, rotation doesn't really matter because we have spheres, rotating these won't make any difference, but if you're using like cubes or something, adding some rotation to this might be interesting. End scale is basically how small or how big these spheres are going to be by the time that they disappear. So how big are they going to be by the time they hit 100 frames? So I'm going to change this to 0.3 because we want these to get smaller. But again, we want some variation on this. So I'm going to change the variation percentage to 50%. So now we have some bigger ones, some small ones by the time they hit 100 frames. So this is looking pretty good. We now have these spheres coming out the top of this animation, but we need it to be told to mesh and interact with this like blobby bit we have at the bottom. And this is done with a Metaball. So Shift C for our search bar again, and let's look up Metaball. Now we're just going to go ahead and create two more spheres, and these spheres are going to create this like egg shape at the bottom of this. So if we move one sphere up and make it a bit smaller, and then dragging both these spheres into our Metaball is going to try and create one object. But you see, it's meshed this together, but our polygon size is way too large and we're losing a lot of detail in this. So under our editor subdivisions, this is basically our voxel size. I'm going to reduce this to 4 centimeters. Now we just want to move our spheres around so we have a bit of an egg shape going on. Maybe make the top one a bit smaller. And then we want to go ahead and position these. We want this like cross section, our largest bit on our egg, want to be around the same position that our emitter starts. Maybe make the whole thing a bit smaller. Cool. So now we have an object for it to interact with, but our spheres are not interacting with the object. And to simply do this, all we have to do is drag our emitter into our Metaball. Now if I play this, we can have a look at what it's doing. And now we have this like blobby stylized flame look. You could use this for bubbles, you could use this for like lava, whatever you want. This is pretty much it. Hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching.